What is up, you guys? Happy hump day, happy Wednesday. I hope you're having an amazing start to your week. We're halfway through, 2 more days till Friday. Hang in there. I wanted to make a video today about my most recent experience and my most recent trip to Disney and Universal. I do have a special guest with me, little baby Sven. I picked him up on the Frozen ride and I wanted something cuddly to kind of cuddle with on the plane. So I thought he was adorable and so sweet. So he sits on our bed now. And also check out this amazing vintage Mickey and Minnie sweatshirt. I love these pastels for spring, so I had to pick this up too. Of course, I'm rocking my ears. And today we're gonna break it down about how I thought my trip to Disney World was. And I wanted to give you guys 5 important tips if you are thinking too of planning a trip during a global pandemic. I just want to start the video out by saying this was something that I booked in advance in November. So this was actually a Christmas gift to my boyfriend. We do big Christmas and big birthdays. That's just something that we've always done. So I did book it in advance. And I thought by maybe February time that the pandemic would have cleared up a bit, but of course we're always learning about new, variants and, more people getting infected. It does seem like this is a little bit of a lull right now, thankfully. I just want everybody to be safe and healthy and just get back to traveling again, because that's something that we've both missed so much. He got me a trip to Paris last year for my Christmas present, so since we were unable really to go out of the country, I just stuck to Disney World because I always wanted to go there with my significant other, and it was absolutely lovely. The weather was perfect. I'm actually from the northern East Coast, so we were dealing with some really brutal cold and snow and depressing weather, and then you get to Florida and it's 80 degrees and it's sunny and it's beautiful and it's humid. Pause. I just came from 16-degree weather. Now we're in 85. How amazing. So it was a nice little break from everyday life. Let's just put it like that. So I am glad, absolutely glad that we did go. I did pay actually an extra $300 just to be absolutely sure to get that travel insurance, because if for whatever reason we were not able to go, if, God forbid somebody got sick, or, maybe the pandemic limited us from going, I wanted to make sure that I was getting all of my money back. I'm sure, as you guys know, Disney isn't the cheapest of places to go if you've ever been there. And if you haven't been there, maybe start doing some research on rooms and on stays and things like that. You'll come to find that you can easily go to the Caribbean or to Mexico for half the price of Disney World. But it's not about price, it's about more of building an experience and just going and reliving your childhood. That's my favorite part. You guys, 5 tips on things you should know if you are planning on going during a pandemic. So we did both. We did Disney World for 6 days and then we did Universal for 3. So it was a 9-day extended stay. And again, we just wanted a kind of a longer break from life and from work and just the hassles of every day. So what better place than Disney World? Tip number 1, everything is on sale right now. So they are doing a major price cut on stays and rooms and actually tickets and park passes for early 2021. And that's to start to see how during this pandemic, if they are able to run efficiently and safely too. Let me tell you, I will be very honest and transparent, they followed probably every safety protocol that you can imagine. So they have, they're implementing the 6 feet apart. There's sanitizing stations everywhere. Everyone is required to wear a mask. You're not actually able to, do really anything without a mask, and we'll get more into that in a couple minutes. But the safety kind of implementations were at the top. So this is a place that you can go to right now and feel safe. You will have some folks, and I'm not going to get political about the pandemic because that just causes trouble. There are some folks that, around the resorts and things like that, that you will see have maybe their masks down to take a breather or, what have you. So I don't want to say that because you are following it doesn't mean everyone else will follow it. It's very strictly enforced, but especially around our resort, there were some folks that were just walking to the pool and walking back to their room, and they had it down. I'm not going to say anything about it. In Florida, again, it's so humid and that mask just feels like you're being suffocated, but it is for safety, right? So definitely need to keep that at the top of our list when it comes to priorities is safety, whether it's uncomfortable or not. So again, they're doing massive discounts right now through early 2021. I believe the discounts actually run out in June, which is kind of funny to me because I know there are folks that love to go during the summer months in the United States, but it's also the hottest, most unbearable months. So they're running these discounted plans and tickets through June. And I actually got a really good deal. Not that significant, but it's definitely, you know, in total, you probably save at least $400 to $600 on a room of your choice and in a resort of your choice, because again, they're just making sure that they're doing a soft reopening. When I was there, the parks were at capacity, and they do actually make you book a reservation for a park, just to make sure again that they have an exact count of how many folks are, you know, how many folks are joining that park that day, just to make sure they're meeting the state's requirements and the nation's requirements for safety. I felt really, really safe, but again, just, you know, tip number one is if you want to go now before June, because everything is discounted highly. We had our choice pretty much, again, because I booked it. So we, you know, essentially I wanted to go where I wanted to go, and I ultimately, you know, again, I picked our resort, and I was super happy with our resort. It was beautiful, it was very clean. The only thing I will say is that the maids were not able to make your bed, and that wasn't a deal breaker for me. I was making the bed every day anyway, but they did supply fresh towels and washcloths and things like that. They were just unable to touch your sheets, and I'm just assuming that was due to more of like a health and safety concern. But again, you know, if you want to go right now and save a little bit of money, definitely discount it. Tip number two is masks are used with everything you do. So you go on a ride, you need your mask. You're on a roller coaster, like for example, Expedition Everest. You weren't able to take that down, or, you know, there was no concerns really about it flying off of your head, even though that's a super fast pace ride. Same with the Aerosmith coaster in Hollywood Studios, you know, those masks are staying on. When it comes to, you know, again, just shopping in a store or just walking around the park, taking in scenery, things like that, your mask is not to be down at all. There really is only one instance that you're able to take your mask down, and that is when you're eating or drinking, obviously, because you're not able to, you know, eat one of those delicious Mickey-shaped ice creams if your mask is on. But the, you know, the rules that are enforced is you have to be stationary when eating or drinking, which, you know, same thing. If you have maybe a fast pass and you're walking to your ride and you have a coffee or a drink of some sort, you're not able to actually drink that as you're walking. And again, that's obviously due to the virus, right? So they do have you drink and eat in, they were calling them relaxation stations, which again was nice. But to me, again, you're kind of putting a lot of different folks in one little bubble, and they all have their masks down and they're all eating and drinking in the same vicinity. So to me, I feel like if anything is going to be spread, it's going to be that way. But you can't really avoid that because, especially if you're going into restaurants too, kind of the same vibe. You know, you're not wearing a mask in a restaurant or things of that nature. So you're not able to walk and drink or eat. I know those turkey legs are a huge thing. My boyfriend wanted a turkey leg from Epcot so bad, and we were able to find them in Epcot very easily, and he wanted to walk as he ate it because we did have a fast pass for Soarin', and he wasn't able to do that. So we just found a little table, and there's a lot of different benches and tables that they've put up because of this, and you could just sit off to the side, do a little people watching, kind of refresh, have a taste of your drink, have a taste of your snack, what have you. But again, that mask implementation is really strong, and if you are an individual that you think that the mask implementation is taken lightly in Disney World, you're absolutely wrong. So prepare for that. That's what I mean. I know there are some folks that, even though it is, you know, more of a nationwide mandate at this point, there are some individuals that don't agree with it. And they've made it very known that in the park specifically, if they catch you without your mask and they have to ask you multiple times to put it back on, you're actually getting kicked out. And I've seen them escort a couple people out actually as I was walking in, and they caused a fuss and it was a big ruckus. But to me, you know, you signed up for that. You know what you're getting into. Again, if you're watching this video and you are planning to go either this month or the next few months, that is something that's going to be a requirement. It's not an option at this point. So masks are, you know, again, present with everything you do. Actually, it's funny because on the rides, I can show you. on the rides, you really can't even see your expression really, because you just see your eyes. So we went on the rock and roller coaster, and I thought this picture was hysterical, because of course it shoots you 0 to 60 in what, 10 seconds or so, and all you see is the mask. I don't know if you can get a good read on that, but my eyes were like this, and we were trying to do funny hand signals, so we did like whatever this is. I think this is like the California Surf's Up sign, but so you can't even really tell, and all you see is the masks, and then my eyes, you know, like wincing for fear, being blasted off 0 to 60 in 20 seconds. So number 2, masks are involved with everything you do. It's not optional. Don't think of it, you know, don't take it lightly, because it's not. So that's number 2. Number 3, there are no live attractions right now going on currently. So that means no fireworks shows, no live theater shows. They were doing the parades, but of course it was more like drive-through, and then the characters were waving, and that was it. So if you're going to Disney World to see, I remember when I went last time, they had a really amazing live Beauty and the Beast, kind of spectacular. There's a Little Mermaid show that they put on every like hour or so in Hollywood Studios. They would always do those really amazing kind of Main Street shows and parades, and all the characters would sing and things like that. Nothing like that. So if you are somebody that's going to see the fireworks, to see some of these more live action kind of, you know, events and attractions, unfortunately they're not offering that right now due to the pandemic. So that was a little bit of a bummer for me. I do understand though, because you can't have, you know, 2,000 or so people flocking in one area to watch fireworks at the castle in Magic Kingdom. So I get that. But then I was actually surprised when we were traveling to more of the other parks. Like for example, Hollywood Studios had a lot of live action shows. They had the Indiana Jones live action attraction, which I thought was really fun. They had the Little Mermaid show, and then there was one other one that they have that everything was canceled. So that also too, you have to be kind of cognizant that that's going to increase ride line times, because of the fact that there are nothing that, you know, takes the people away from rides besides shopping, obviously, and eating. So the lines were very long, but again, Disney did a really wonderful job with keeping everything safe. They had, you know, specific taped off sections that you needed to stand within. There was this family that was not following it. It was kind of like breathing down my neck, and it was actually, that was in Universal that was happening, but Universal's the same way. Everything's very safe and segmented. I'd like to say Universal was definitely more like pushing the boundaries than Disney was. They weren't as hard on the mask mandate. You know, they were eating and drinking openly, and nobody was really yelling at them. So Disney absolutely takes it to the extreme, and I felt most safe in Disney. Universal, kind of iffy, to be honest. Really great place to go. I enjoyed all the rides in Universal also, but Disney was definitely a lot safer. So we did have this family that was in Universal. It was like breathing down my neck, like directly behind me, and they were speaking a foreign language, so maybe they weren't understanding, you know, like where they were supposed to be in line. But after they stepped on my shoes, I kind of just like pointed at the line, because at this point you're, you know, sacrificing my safety because you're breathing on my neck. You just stepped on my shoes and you're up my ass so much that how is that even before the pandemic okay? It wasn't. So I kind of pointed at the line, and then she probably was cursing me out in whatever language she was speaking. So just keep in mind, again, there are no live attractions with Disney and Universal. They were having some like singing shows and things like that, and again, they made sure that everybody was kind of 6 feet apart, but nothing to the extreme, you know, as they were having before the pandemic was taking place. So that would be number 3 again. If you're going for fireworks, if you're going for a live attraction, if you're going for more of those kind of in-person events, not doing it right now, unfortunately. Number 4 again would be line wait time. This is a whole nother, you know, I wanted to get into this a little bit more. Again, there are longer waits. So what I would recommend you do, number 1, either book your reservations in advance for the park. That's what I did. So when I booked this in November, I already laid out our itinerary then. We did 2 days Magic Kingdom, which eventually I changed because I thought for some reason Magic Kingdom we'd spend most of our time in, and that was actually the shortest park. I know it's definitely more kind of kid-centric for Magic Kingdom, so that could have been why I thought there was just a little bit more to do there. but we actually switched it, which you're able to do the morning of, back to Epcot, because I mean, drinking around the world is just like top notch. Loved. We had a specialty drink in every country, which I'm sure if you're above 21, that's something that you've done or you're looking forward to do, and it was amazing. I might actually do kind of a camera roll at the end and show you guys some pictures that we took. So yeah, I mean, so I was able to base, you know, off my reservation, obviously what parks we were going to go into for that day. But my recommendation for you, especially because they have some of these newer attractions, there's a new Avatar attraction and there is a new Star Wars attraction that you need some mobile booking for. And unfortunately, you know, they are super limited. You need to set your alarm for like 7 a.m. and then again at 2 a.m. if you miss the 7 o'clock slot to try to get into the special attraction. We were not able to do both. We missed both of the mobile check-in times for that. So just keep in mind, again, what day that you're going. Be ready to do some of those specialty mobile check-in. That goes for Universal too. I missed out on, I'm a big Harry Potter freak, and I was not able to do the Hagrid's Motorbike Adventure because of the mobile check-in. So I was a little bummed about that. But again, you really need to make those timelines, and we did make the timelines for each, the Star Wars, for the Avatar, and then also for Hagrid's ride. They're just so overwhelmed that mobile application like crashes pretty much, essentially. So just prepare for that. And then again, if you are booking a reservation, try to go into that park and get your fast pass for certain rides. You know Soarin's always a long wait. You know Space Mountain's always a really long wait. Expedition Everest actually was really quick when we were in line, but I know that's always a long wait. So since the lines are extremely longer than, you know, than previous years, book your park reservation, go in, get your fast pass like right then and right there. So then you can always return back to the ride to kind of avoid that line. Because I can remember, you know, Space Mountain I think was like at least a 50-minute wait. Splash Mountain was the longest, and that was a day that was really hot, so I completely understand. But we were in line probably for an hour and 40 minutes. And if you think about it, that's 1/8 of your day just waiting in line. So kind of prepare for that. Again, the fast pass, you know, getting those fast passes is really crucial to making sure that you're able to enjoy the park and other things, and, you know, get some lunch and still relax and do some shopping all at once. So plan out your day would be my best recommendation, because again, those lines are really long. Last and number 5 is kind of touched on this with tip number 2, but you're not even able to take photos without masks on. So if you're looking for the cutest, you know, family photo, or you're looking to propose to your girlfriend, or, you know, you're looking for something special and kind of, you know, heartwarming and touching for your wall, maybe you want to blow up a portrait, I wouldn't suggest it, because everywhere that you go, whether it's Universal, whether it's Disney World, you know, kind of, you want those memories. I know specifically for me, I booked this thinking that we were going to have the most amazing portrait in front of the castle with matching shirts, and I was going to blow it up and put it on our bedroom wall or something like that, and you're not able to do that. Again, they chase after you. So I will show a picture here. I almost got kicked out after taking this picture, and I wasn't near anyone else, but I did want at least one photo without my mask on. I took it off for 50 seconds, smiled, put it right back on. And a cast member came running up to me and was like, stop, like, for future pictures, you know, put your mask on. I said, okay. So from that point, I didn't really want to be scorned at, like I was 4 years old, and I completely understand. But I made sure I was safe. I definitely don't have corona. I didn't come home having corona. I know the planes and things like that, you're kind of subjecting yourself more to a closer kind of tight-knit space where those things can definitely happen. But I was away from everyone else. I was literally actually on the side, and somehow we still got a really good angle of the castle. So I stood away from everybody else, and when I'm talking at least like 25-30 feet away, I was very far apart from everybody else. And I just simply took my mask off, smiled, and then put it right back on. And they ran over to me. So again, they're very cautious about masks, and there are folks actually walking around the signs reminding you. So I did break the rules. I will own up to it. I did break the rules for just one picture, but every other photo, and again, you'll see at the end of the video, I really was looking for that cute couple shot. and it has masks, so it kind of kills it for me because you're not able to see how happy we are. You're not able to see our expressions. But again, maybe by keeping that on, we saved, you know, a grandfather's life or a grandmother's life or, you know, somebody with pre-existing conditions. I was able to keep them safe by sacrificing my photos. Definitely not even in comparison with wearing a mask and taking pictures to keeping things safe, right? So, but yeah, I mean, even in front of, you know, in Diagon Alley, I wanted a picture in Universal with the dragon for Harry Potter, and there was amazing couples doing things with their wands, and it just ruins it for me for the mask. So just keep in mind, if you're looking for that special photo op, they still are doing those packages where the photographers will follow you around, and they'll have you do a couple of nice poses and things like that, and you will be able to get those photos, but everything, you know, involves a mask. So I just wanted to share with you guys my experience. I would rate this trip definitely 8 out of 10. I hope to go back in, you know, at least 4 to 5 years when I have kids, maybe down the line. I was really looking forward to the Ratatouille ride opening, and it was postponed, so I was kind of bummed about that in France and Epcot. I'm a huge Ratatouille lover. That's like one of my favorite Pixar movies ever, 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 ever. I did walk away with a little pen, a little Remy pen, which I was so happy about, and I got the mouse, the magnetic mouse that sits on your shoulder, which is super cute. So I absolutely think both Disney and Universal followed safety protocols. I myself felt extremely safe. I would recommend that you go. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up. Definitely subscribe to my channel. I have a lot more travel content coming. And I just thank you guys so much for being here, and have a wonderful day.